Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Wildflower Wool's Knitting Podcast. I'm Louise. It's Monday. That means it's voting day. It means it's cast on day. And it means that we're going to sit here and we're going to chat for the next hour. We're going to visit. I'm going to show you what the winning yarn is for this week, a little bit of updates on what I've been knitting on this past week, and then we'll chat and we'll see what you all have been working on. And of course, it's the Fiber Friends. If you follow the Fiber Friends podcast, you'll know that it's September, which means that there's a brand new challenge going on over there. Hi, Sally and Alice. Welcome. Hope for most of us, it's been a long weekend, and today's been a holiday Monday. Seems a little strange. I didn't have to work today. Ended up going to the beach for almost all of the day. It was a wonderful way to end the long weekend. Okay, the yarn. I pulled out some yarn. One was out of my stash, not super, super old yarn. A year, maybe a little over a year. This gorgeous yarn is from Ancient Arts. And I'm not sure if Susanna's in the chat yet or not. Susanna, I know Susanna, Ancient Arts, this is like a local yarn shop for you, isn't it? Out west in Canada. And you have done classes there, I believe. And you were asking me what the name of this is. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The oranges, the reds, the greens. Let me see if I can. I didn't even really look. I just pulled out 2 balls of sock yarn that I thought would be really fun to knit. So the Ancient Arts yarn, it says nature-inspired, glorious colors. Most definitely. Renewal, sock NATO, fingering. Does that help you out? Sock NATO. It's 80% superwash fine merino, 20% nylon. Fingering sock, and then all of the usual. There's 350 meters or 385. So not quite as much yardage as there is maybe in some sock yarns. But look at those colors. Look at those greens. Very, very fun. And what makes this yarn even more special is a friend of mine brought this back. She was on vacation and she brought some yarn back for our little knitting group. And this was the skein she brought for me. And look at that. I'm even wearing orange. As most of you know, fall colors, oranges, yellows, greens, they are my go-to colors. So really, really fun. Love this one. So I pulled this out. I saw this and I thought, of course, September, fall, even though we want to hold on to the last little bit of summer, it definitely has a fall feel. It is definitely a little cooler out tonight. Definitely kind of looks fallish, pumpkin-y, Halloween-y kind of thing, doesn't it? The other one is a brand newish one. I bought this summer back. Yeah, I don't know, sometime this summer, the last month or so. Hi, everybody who's popping in here in the chat. So Yarnbird Fibers, if you are local here in London, you will recognize that name, Yarnbird Studio. This is Suzanne, who owns Knit Stitch, one of our local yarn shops. She does some hand dyeing, and Yarnbird Studio is what her hand dyed yarns go under. So isn't this beautiful too? Again, fallish color. I mean, when I think fall, I always think orange, but this beautiful rusty color definitely has a fall feel to it as well. Now this is a DK weight. We talked about this was fingering. This is a DK. So let's see. This is a superwash merino. It is an 85% superwash merino, 15 nylon. So typically I don't like going less than 20% nylon content for socks. We'll see how this works, 15%. Part of me is like, ooh, if and when I knit this into socks, if it does get a hole in the bottom, then that was just giving me a sign that I need one of those super cool sock darning little looms that I could pick up at one of the fall shows coming up here. Anyways, gorgeous. with the blue in here. Kind of reminds me for some reason like the blue raspberry or blue raspberry, like the Kool-Aid flavor, the red and the blue colors. So, so nice. Um, oh, hi from Dawn and Diane watch party. Are you okay? I love it that you guys are always watched together. Hey, Sabrina and Nikki. Who else is in here? Anne, hello, Anne. Jen and Jude. Deborah. Didn't get a chance to vote, but it would have been the orange, Deborah said. Okay, well, the voting. There was but 124 votes today, so a little bit more than our normal. Our normal, I think I'm gonna have to bump up our normal. I think our normal is just getting to be a little bit more all the time. Hi, Kim and Susanna. Um, so 124 votes. The winning yarn ended up with 54% of the votes. It was close. I honestly did not know which yarn was going to win until I added the very last numbers up. It was really, really close. Oh, Susanna. So yes, so Susanna, you were asking ancient arts. Um, it says Socknado. Does that tell you anything? Socknado. I'll show you the tag there if that helps you. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Sherry, you can decide. I know they're both fall themed. I mean, the comments, as you can imagine, a lot of people were talking, the orange definitely has that fall vibe to it with the orange. But this one, some people said, this one looked very fallish. There was, some people voted this one because it was fall, this one because they thought it was super, super pretty. A lot of the DK yarn got votes because it is DK. It is faster. Jen, I saw you voted for, oh, okay. Nancy says Socknado was their base name. Okay, well, that's what I wondered. But then it doesn't tell me. Oh, unless it's renewal? Okay, sorry, guys. That must be the colorway then. Socknado's the base. Um, anyways. Well, um, what was I saying? Yes, so fallish kind of colors. Now, here is something though. If it was April or May and we brought this out, would this look like a spring color? Could this look like tulips or daylilies? And if renewal is the actual like color name, does that lean you more towards spring than fall? I don't know. I think you could go either way, right? To me, right now, it's feeling very fall vibes. But I mean, DK definitely is a faster knit. Jen, that's what I was going to say. I saw Jen's vote, and I think Jen, you voted for DK, and you also said go DK because it's fast. You said you can do a sock in a day. Well, I maybe could, and that is maybe possible. That is something that I should strive for, and see if I can do that. I have my other DK socks here, and you'll see my progress on those, and see if you think I could do one in a day. Okay, what else? Hi, Nancy. Oh, I always get my fall mums in that beautiful deep red. I know that is gorgeous. I like this. I am not a really red, like fire engine tomato red, but anything that's kind of a maroon burgundy color, I really, really like. Okay. So, the yarn that ended up squeaking ahead with 54% of the votes is, insert dramatic pause here. The one that I'm going to cast on this week is DK. It snuck ahead. Honestly, you guys, this was actually the one that I was thinking about casting on. I was leaning towards DK socks because I am teaching a DK sock knitting class towards the end of September, and I need some extra samples. So I thought this would be a a good one to cast on. But when I was looking for my other DK sock yarn, I came across this one. And I'm like, oh, this one is really pretty too. So I thought I would just let you guys do the picking. Okay, Nancy's asking, what is this one here called? Um, oh, Susanna says, nope, usually there's a name. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, Yarnbird Studio. I'm not sure if there's a name on this one. She's got it listed as random. So this maybe was a one of a kind. Yeah, there's no name on this one. Suzanne, sometimes she does a lot of one of a kind, just playing around with colors, mixing and matching. She's been doing a lot of solar dyeing this summer. And I think I saw one of her Instagram posts. She was kind of just mixing up, using up some old dyes and getting some different color combinations. So yeah, I think I just lucked out with this one. It is really pretty. Let's open it up and take a peek at it closer. I'm excited to see how this knits up. There's a lot of really, like, look at those blues. Ooh, this looks so pretty. Oh, there's a little bit of white in there too. Interesting. Oh, some really dark. Like, which way do I want to go here? There's some nice dark, a little bit lighter. This is going to be super fun to knit this up. Oh my gosh, so fun. Um, Susanna says, "Can I have the orange one?" I don't think Alyssa would be very happy if I gave my gift yarn away. Yeah, that's really funny. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what the story is about this. Yeah, there's no lot. Okay, does that help? Socknado, the weight, the gauge, there's no die lot number. I mean, I don't know what they know what their ball bands usually look like. But anyways, maybe it was a one of a kind too. But super, super gorgeous, right? I mean, my goodness. You guys all know when you start playing around with dyes, there's no end to the color combinations that you can come up with. Just mixing and matching and different amounts of the same color of dye gives you something totally different. Renewal sounds like a good name. It kind of does, doesn't it? I like that. Anyways, this one here, so DK Sock Yarn snuck out by a teeny, teeny, tiny bit. So this is it, you guys. This is going to be fun. And, well, I was hoping, well, here, I'll tell you that in a second. Anyways, this one here, I'm not going to put this too far away because I think this would be a good one to pull out again in a couple of weeks when it gets a little closer to October. I don't think Jocelyn's here in the chat, but I know she said normally she would pick DK, but because this was orange and Halloweeny, this is what she voted for. So I'm going to keep this out and maybe the end of September, excuse me, I'll see what I've got for more orange sock yarns and maybe we'll pull out a bunch of them and see what looks like a good Halloweeny kind of sock yarn to have on the needles for October. So you may see this one again in the very near future. But oh my gosh, I'll have to post this and tag Suzanne and let her know that you guys all voted for her sock yarn, her DK yarn. I'm sure she will be super excited to know that it came out the winner this week in the voting. So more socks. Okay, let's talk about socks for a minute. So the reason I was so excited, and I'm like, yes, I didn't even hesitate. I mean, two reasons. I am teaching the sock class, so I wanted to have um, some more samples to show. And so I thought, why not use it as a New Start Monday? I was also, you guys, don't laugh at this, but I was very, very hopeful at one point this weekend. I was thinking this was going to be finished and I would have a free needle. Do not despair, though. I did a little tidying. I found some more knitting needles tucked away. I found a few more little 9-inch circular needles, and there was a 3.25. So I do have a free DK sock knitting needle ready to go for this new yarn. But Earlier on in the weekend, I had thought, "Oh my gosh, I have got time," because like Jen said in her comment, DK socks knit up so quick. I thought, "You know what? I just had a few more rounds to do on here. I'm right. I should be where the heel. I'm gonna measure one more time, but I should be ready to do the heel." And I had plans to have gotten the heel done and then take it with me today and just knit the foot and either be ready to do toe decreases, or I was hoping I would be here holding up a finished sock. And as you can see, that did not happen, but that's okay. But I do have one finished, and it's so super soft. This is again the Hawthorne sock yarn, the DK from Knit Picks, in this glorious blue, bright like royal blue. It's super, super fun. I did a short row garter stitch. Is that what I want to say? Short row garter stitch heel. And it was really fun to knit. So I will do that one again over here. And I know you may say, well, of course you will, Louise, because you did it on the first sock. But I have done one other time. I did a sock heel that I really, really did not like, and I did the second sock with a different heel. um, what size do I need? So you know what? For Croy, I use a 2.25. Nancy, funny you should ask that because I have some right here. So this is what I have left out of my DK sock yarn. And every once in a while I look at this ball and I'm like, this is starting to look small. But I really do not have that much left to do on this sock. So I'm sure I've got lots of yarn left. But just the heel and the foot, the heel, the foot, the toe. Okay, so that does sound like a fair amount, right? But this should do fine. Um, I really hope I don't run out because that would be a problem. But I don't think I will. I think I'll be fine. So this is going to finish this. This is on a 3.25 millimeter. My Croy, and even though Croy is a little heavier than a lot of the other sock yarns like this, I still do keep my same needle size and I use a 2.25. It does make a really, really firm sock. So this is my little dainty sock. This is sock one. I did this on a 2.25 and it's firm. It's do I have if I've got I can measure the gauge here. That's crazy. I was pretty sure I had me haha. I knew I saw handy dandy measuring tape. Let me just do a quick see how many stitches per inch I'm getting on here with the 2.25 for Croy. I know on the ball band it says, I think it says a 3.25 millimeter needle, but I don't think this is not as heavy as a DK. It's somewhere in between, even though they call it a fingering. It's more like a heavy fingering, but I think doing a 3.25 with Croy, unless you're a tight knitter, um, you never say never, but I don't think I have ever heard of anybody going up that large a needle size for Croy, unless they're super, super tight knitter. But most people would still keep it at a 2.5. Oh, it says 2.75. Oh, did they finally change it? What does my ball band here say? Because forever on the old bands, it was, yeah, this one here says 3.25 millimeter on the ball band, which is way too big. Anyways, okay. So Nancy, you said I started, but that seems tight. So I'm waiting for a bigger one. So maybe you need to go like just like a 2.5, 2.75. Yeah, I mean it's going to be your gauge. So okay, well, let me stop talking. Oh, it says 3.25 hook. Okay, let me look again. It's not funny. See, this is, well, I'm not sure how old this is. This isn't super, super old, but nope, knitting needles 3.25. Yep, and a hook at 3.25. They're both the same on here. Interesting. Amber, hello. Amber, I was just thinking about you today. Isn't that funny? Okay, let me just stop talking for a second and let me count and see how many stitches I'm getting on this sock. Yep, so it's really one, getting 8.5 stitches to the inch on here, which is good. I mean, that's a good ballpark. That's what you want. You want your socks nice and tight. So, um yes, I remember how you like to help count, Amber. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so I still go 2.25, but that would be an interesting question if anybody else what they knit theirs on. I'm pretty sure Cheryl keeps her needle at the same size for Croy as well. And they wear super, super well when they're knit tight. Okay. Anyways, my dainty sock. Did I show you? One's done. This one here. Oops. I don't know. Okay. I just have this little bit done on it. Still working. I didn't work on it at all this week. Okay. That's it for socks, I think. I did a little bit on the DK blue. Had good intentions of getting a whole lot more done on it, but I got distracted, you guys, which I know it's not a big shock. But remember my shawl that I have kind of nicknamed my never ending shawl? I got a nice little bit done on it. I did a little bit more than I had been doing the last weeks, and my ball is getting smaller. I was going to take a little bit of time just to sit and rewind this because it's getting really floppy and I don't want it to get tangled because that would be not disastrous. That was the first word that popped in my mind. It would not be disastrous. It would just be time consuming to have to rewind it. But you guys, look at my goal was to get out of the gray because I had been in the gray and it was kind of like gradually it was gradiating, marling into the gray, into the teal color. And I wanted to get all the gray knit up because I wanted to get all into the fun tealy colors. And I did it. it took it was my knit night knitting every night this week. If I had a Zoom call, we did an in-person knitting in the park. And this is what I worked on. What else did we do? Oh, we did Caroline. So if you guys have been watching the Fiber Friends, like from way back when it started, when Adrienne and Caroline and I were doing Fiber Friends, um, Caroline did a craft night this past Wednesday night at a movie theater. And so we went with our knitting and it was great. We watched a movie and the lights were on in the theater. It was wonderful. Everybody was crafting. Some people were cross stitching, some people were knitting, and this is what I worked on, which helped me get a fair amount done. But look at the colors on this, you guys. So this colorway is called Teal of Fortune. The yarn is a yarn bee yarn. It's a cotton and acrylic. I just love how the colors are just so subtle. They just change. And then down here was just all the grays. But it's getting long. This is going to be a really nice big shawl. It's about 200 grams of yarn. My ball band is missing somewhere. It's somewhere. Um, but it's gorgeous. It's nice. The acrylic and the cotton makes it feel really, really nice. It's really lovely to knit with. It is very fine. It will be a sock weight, but it is definitely a light sock weight. But it's really gorgeous to knit with, and I'm super excited to get into the final colors here. So pretty soon, I'm not going to be able to say it's my never ending shawl because it's going to be done soon. I actually set it aside after Saturday. So yesterday, oh, I guess it's only yesterday and today I did knit on it. Seems like forever. But now that it's kind of like the start of a new week, I can pick this up again and I can work some more on it. So I'm excited for that because it really is fun. I just like it. It's a good Netflix binge watching kind of thing. I have to show you this. I got a little present from a friend, and it is so cute. It's a little pottery ornament, and I think every knitter needs one of these. Something that has this kind of saying on it somewhere in their yarn room. So, little heart. Do I need more yarn? And every answer means yes. Of course, I need new yarn. So it's so cute. I'm going to hang this up somewhere. I love it. Thank you, Trish. That was really thoughtful. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else did I knit on? Oh my goodness, you guys! Mitered squares. Hi, Daisy. Hi, kitty. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, has it been 3 weeks ago? 3 Mondays ago, I had put up yarn for you guys to vote on, and it was the multicolored, like different colored balls of yarn or one ball of yarn, and you all voted for the different colors of yarn. Don't jump up on me. You stay down there. So I have got 3 balls of yarn. I'm going to do mitered squares, and then I am going to put them together, turn the squares on their point so they're a diamond, and crochet them together. And I'm going to have like a matching bag. My niece crocheted granny squares and made herself this really cute bag. And I'm like, why can't I do that in knitting? Because I mean, and I'm sure there's probably a bazillion patterns out there for bags, but I'm using her. She had a like a diagram of the squares, so I'm just following that. So these are the colors. Remember these ones that you guys voted for? So fun. It's all classic wool. This is like a weird, I'm still calling this Mercury. The ball band said some different name, but I'm pretty sure it's Mercury. This is a rose heather. What is it? That's not quite wood rose. Wood rose heather. And this is like a heathered plum heather. This one is really, really pretty. Anyways, I have started doing some mitered squares. I've been playing around a little bit because there's 2 ways you can do mitered squares, and I'm really curious for you to tell me what way you guys like to do your mitered squares. Oh, Cindy said what yarn won today? Yes, Cindy, it was the DK by just a little bit, super, super close. Mitered squares. Have you guys knit mitered squares for a project? Lots of times you think of mitered squares for a blanket. I think that's would I be right saying, that's kind of the majority of the time you use mitered squares for a blanket? I mean, probably not. I mean, obviously you could use it for a bag, you could use it for scarves, you could do all kinds of things. But when I think mitered squares, I think blankets. Now, this is one way. Get my tails out of here. So you can see where the decreases are. This square was done casting on, actually, I'm going to hold on both. I'm going to show up, blah, 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 blah. Let me start that again. I'm going to show you both, and then we'll talk about, oh, the dishcloth. Yes, it'd be perfect for doing a dishcloth as well in mitered squares. And, okay, so here we go. So this one here has a more distinct single line, and I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but it's very textured. It's very raised. This one here is more of a double, well, it is. It's a double decrease, much flatter, but still has a visual look to it. So this one here, sorry, everything's backwards for me. So um, this one here is cast on, you cast on an even number of stitches. You put a stitch marker right in the center. So I cast on 40. So I had 20 stitches, a stitch marker, 20 stitches. And then, oh, Nancy says she does this one. So then when you're coming across, you get to 2 stitches before the marker, you knit 2 together, you slide the marker, you do a SSK, you get a left leaning decrease, and then you knit to the end. The next row, you just knit all the way across. This one here, you cast on an odd number of stitches. So I put on 39, and you put your stitch marker on the center stitch. This one, you have it between, so you've got half and half and a stitch marker in the center. This one, you put your stitch marker on that odd stitch that's in the center, and then you knit across, and when you get to 1 stitch before the stitch marker, you slip 2. You slip the one before the marker and the stitch that has the marker. You slip both of those knitwise, knit 1 more, and then you pass the 2 over. So you're still doing 2, but this is the center double decrease. So you get 1 straight line, but you're still decreasing 2. This one here, you can basically see you've got 2 decreases that make a wider line. So it really, I think it's all personal appearance. This, no, oh my gosh. This is the one that um I was going for, and then I just started playing around with this one. I find if this one here is easier to know what's a right side and a wrong side just because it's more raised. Once you get a couple of rows done on here, you can tell the difference. This is the back side, and it does have more of a backside appearance to it than this side. So you can tell. Anyways, I saw Nancy said she likes to do the flatter one. Anyway, I don't think it matters. It just all depends which look you're going for. Oh, Kim says the one that's flatter. Okay. I know my whiteboard, I know I didn't get it updated. It's not bad. I had wanted to do that so we could chat about it tonight, and I didn't quite get it done. I had plans. I thought I was going to be home, long weekend, relax. No, I didn't. I was out and about. I was gone most of the weekend. Anyways, there's always next week. Amber, you've been going to knit night at the Mitten lately. Oh, nice. On Friday nights? Fun. Nancy says I make the flatter. Oh, Cindy, yeah, you need to pop in when the knit night's on Friday night. That would be fun. Kim, you like the double decrease the best, which is this one. Oh, Kim, then you said the flatter one. Yeah, isn't it funny? Because this is the one that I was going for because it had just that more. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I was just curious what you guys did. Anyways, so I have been playing around. As you can see, I have 2. So in the end, oh my goodness. I'm gonna get rid of that one. In the end, I decided to go back and do these ones. And I have somewhere, um, I have a few of them knit. Not sure where they went. This is one that's in progress. So you can see this is the more textural one. There's my stitch marker right on that center stitch, and you don't have to move it. I just leave it there and you can visually follow it up to where you are on your needle. And but you can see how it's starting to take shape. When you cast on, you just have your 40 or 39 stitches just straight on your needle. And then as you're decreasing, it's pulling up into that, you're getting more of a point down here. So it's fun. It's fun. It's just one of those fun, quick little squares. So I am just haven't totally figured out my color, which ones are going to go where. So for right now, I'm just doing kind of like 3 or 4 of each color, and then I'll figure out what I need, what colors I need where. Oh, here, maybe I have, there's one. So here's that. What was this? This was the Heather. I just said the name of this. Anyways, this darker color. There it is. And this is the one again with the more textural down the center. They're fun. I'm really enjoying this, and it's great. Just a quick little square just to sit when you want to take a break from something else. Just knit up a square and then go back to another project. Have I worked on any of my I have been. Did have you missed. It was a few weeks ago. I had a bunch of finishes. So I'm kind of, do a few finishes. It takes me a few weeks, and now I feel like I'm getting super close to having a bunch of finishes again. Oh, Jude says, hi Jude. Miter squares, even stitch count, slip, slip, knit, followed by knit two together. Um, Cable in front, knit together, slip one, knit the next stitch, return to the left needle, pass. Okay, that seems like a lot more steps than I'm doing for mine. But yes, I'm sure there's lots of different ways to give you just a little bit different appearance. Fun. It's again, right? That's why we like to knit, because there's always options. If one way doesn't quite strike your fancy, then you can find another way to give it a little bit of a different look. What else? Oh, last week's project, you guys. And last week's yarn was the Noro. So the fall colored Noro won over the more brighter colored. But mind you, we did find um, some other colors in there. So it's going to be fun once I get to that. Oh, okay. Juice says it's easier and it gives a nice center line. Okay. I'm going to go back and read it again. Slip one, cable in front, knit together, slip one with next stitch, return to the left needle, pass cable stitch. Okay. All right. I'll have to try that. I don't think I've ever done it that way, Jude. So here was a little itty bitty bitty start. This shawl, this is going to be a one skein shawl. This is the Nora. What sock yarn was this? This was the Curion sock yarn. So this is wool and nylon, 70/30. It is really nice. I like this. It's maybe a smidgen more on the rustic side. The other one, the one that you guys did not vote for, it was the Teo sock yarn, and it was definitely a little softer because it had cotton and it had some silk in it, if I'm correct. This is just a wool. I mean, this could be a sock yarn. I mean, you could make socks with it, 70 wool, 30 nylon, but I think it'll be a nice, cozy shawl as well, scarf. It's only one skein. It's not going to be huge, so it's going to be a triangular scarf. Now, this is going to be a modified triangle. So instead of being a perfectly balanced triangle, it's going to be wider and a little shallower because I wanted the width here to be able to go around, and I'm fine if it's going to be a little narrower. Um, so I'm doing on the right side row, there's an increase of 4 stitches. On the wrong side row, we're increasing on either end by 2 stitches. So between the 2 rows, there's 6 increases. So that's what's going to make it increase faster to get more width and not be quite as long. It'll be shorter. So that's the look I'm going for. I opted not to start with a garter tab because I was remembering that in shawls past, I have sometimes had some trouble with it lying flat and sometimes kind of puckering, even though I tried doing it a different way that said, like garter tab that does not pucker. And I still couldn't quite get it to lay flat. So I just decided to start it without a tab. So we're going to see. This is kind of still calling this a gauge swatch because I was going trying for the needle size. I was almost thinking that this might have been too big because I'm a loose knitter. I generally need to go down. Can you see some lace there? I think you can see that, right? Holes. It's generally I need to go down. So this is a 3.75, and I was thinking, looking at this and thinking, this looks really fine, like a lightweight fingering again. And I thought, okay, probably a 3.75. All I could find was a 3.75. And I thought, think it's going to be too loose. But you know what, you guys, it's not. Um, Even though there's just a little bit there, I'm liking the solid little bits are solid enough, and it makes the yarn overs show up nicely. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. It's just going to be plain. I'm not going to put any real fancy lacy pattern in there like I had thought, just because it's going to get really stripy. So I think I am just going to do yarn overs down the center, yarn overs on the edges, and just stockinette in the center. I've got a little garter stitch border on the edges and just knit and let the yarn do its thing. Super simple. And yeah, I'm excited to see this knit up. And just, what was I doing? Oh, Scarlett's little sweater. That is a whip, Amber, that I need to pull out, and I need to get that finished because the nights are cooling off. Scarlett's going to need that little sweater. Um, Hopefully maybe for this weekend, if I can get a push on to get that finished. I'm going to see her this weekend, so that would be nice. Oh, and I have to remember I finished the cowl. I showed you guys the finished cowl last Monday, didn't I? I have that, and I'm gonna have her try that on. Poor thing, it better be cool next weekend when I see her giving her a cowl and a long sleeve sweater to try on. But anyways, that little sweater I was doing for Scarlett, I just remember, right? It was a Norwegian fur sweater, and it has the cute little lace detail in the raglan. And every time I did those lace stitches, I just felt this like happy, joyous feeling come over me. Every time I would look at them, be like, it is just so fun. And I just even doing this little bit here, start on here, just seeing these lace stitches show up, I'm like, I like this a lot. I am like, this is going to be, once I get going on this is going to be one of those ones that, again, it's just easy to pick up. You're going to know which row you're on, you know where your increases go. I am going to put some stitch markers on here though. I've got my center stitch right there, this one right here. So I am going to mark that, even though I can see it. I think I probably should, and probably should put stitch markers here, just in case, because just when you think you don't need stitch markers, that's when you just zip right through and forget to do your increases. So I'm going to set myself up for success. I'm going to find some pretty stitch markers and I'm going to pop them on there. Any way I can try to avoid a little knitting. And the crazy thing is, I could only find a 47-inch cable. Look how long this cable is, you guys. But it's like, look at this. But at some point, this little itty bitty start of a shawl should fill all of this, a good portion of this. So that's what we've got to look forward to. So that I think has been it. This oh, I got the cowl here, just in case you didn't see it last week. This was my cable project for the Fiber Friends for August. September is stripes for the Fiber Friends. I've got a plan to dye some sock yarn and do some stripy socks in fall colors. So we'll see. Maybe that will happen next weekend. Anyways, this is the little cowl. It does actually stretch to fit me. It's nice and snug, so it would be I could wear this if I wanted to, but I'm gonna pop it on Scarlett and see how it fits on her. Anyways, that's that. So see, I do have a finish. It's probably a good idea that I had this just hanging around here so I can show some finishes and it's completely finished. I did weave my ends in on here. This was a really fun one too. Just simple cables. Right now I am just feeling all the simple things. Garter stitch, stockinette. I am just, I don't know, maybe it's just because my work days lately have been very busy. I'm feeling like my knitting needs to be very simple. Like not sock madness kind of socks. I am just totally happy just doing plain vanilla socks and just letting the yarn knit up. This is about as crazy adventurous as I've gotten for in a little while. So we'll see. Maybe this a lot of garter stitch and stockinette stitch phase will pass here and we'll get into something a little more exciting with some color work or some cables or brioche or double knitting or something like that. I kind of feel that is coming. So stay tuned. um oh, Amber's saying, are you going to do anything? Oh, early for my Christmas box. Yes, I have some couple shawls on the needles that I'm hoping to finish that will go into the Christmas box, and maybe a couple pairs of socks. So we'll see. And then of course a few hats and a few dishcloths, just because everybody always likes dishcloths, and they're just fun to add into gifts as a little extra. Um, Yes, everybody always likes those. So we'll whip up some of those. Oh, Nancy, I just finished my triangle shawl. Oh, you did 4 millimeter. Okay. In that creative, oh, melange yarn, the fuzzy one. It's nice. Yes, you know what? Isn't that stuff gorgeous? And I did a fairly big needle on that. Did I even do a 5 millimeter needle for my sweater? Went way bigger than I thought I was going to need. Yeah, that yarn is fantastic. I'm excited for when I go back to teach the sock class in Woodstock at the Thoughtful Artisan in a few weeks and just see what she has for some yarn. It just seems every time I plan to go there on a Saturday, it's when a random Saturday that she has the store closed. She was closed this weekend for a family wedding, so I didn't get to go there. So anyways, I will be there in a couple of weeks and I'll see what she has because I would definitely like to get more of that yarn either between Thoughtful Artisan and Little Red Mitten. They have got they have got similar yarns there. Oh, homemade dishcloths are amazing. I know. I love them. And I know there is a small handful of people who do not like hand knit dishcloths. And that's fair, right? But pretty much everybody in my family is always excited for them to see what colors I have knit up. And it's always fun seeing people, dig through and find their favorite colors and what matches their kitchen or whatever. It's always fun. So yeah, that is something that we'll do. Oh, Amber says, where in Woodstock is the Thoughtful Artisan? She's right downtown, about a block north of Main Street, near the Scotiabank. Adelaide Street. Adelaide Street is where she is, if that helps you. She's pretty easy to find. Yeah, cute little shop. It's worth the drive there, Amber, if you're looking for something to do on a Saturday. That is it, you guys. I can't tell you, I am so excited about this. I can't wait to get more done on here. I want to, yeah, I just want to knit on everything. I'm gonna get a couple more squares done. The bag, there's no big rush to do the bag, so I'm just gonna keep knitting away. A square or two a week will be fine and just stockpile them. And then, oh my gosh, I can see it now, you guys. I'm going to put them all together. I'm going to crochet them together. And that could be like watching a Christmas movie or something. It's because that time is coming faster, now that it's September before we know it. Oh, Diane, you're making scrubbies that look like, oh my gosh, little Christmas tree balls for bonus gifts. That is so fun. That is really fun. That's fun. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try to carve out some more knitting time because I've got so many projects that I really, really want to work on. But I'm gonna cast this on. I'm gonna wind this yarn up tonight, and I'm gonna get this cast on because I cannot wait to see how this knits up. It's gonna be beautiful. Oh, Nancy, are there Halloween movies? That is a really good question. Um, I know on like the Hallmark Channel, I don't know if they have Halloween, but they definitely have fall. Like fall into love is the theme or something, right? And then they switch it out to Christmas movies. But yeah, I could. I do. Yeah, I don't typically. Oh, I could. Sometimes I've watched the fall ones in the past, and they're fun too. So I know, just got to get in the whole fall vibe, right? Even though, I mean, we still hopefully have got a few weeks of nice weather and summer's not going to totally disappear on us yet. But it's that kind of transition, right? Where you still want it to be warm and summery, but you also want to start decorating with pumpkins. And then hopefully we'll have a nice fall and Halloween will be great and winter will be short. And then it'll be spring again. It just like it just keeps coming around, right? All right, you guys. What all are you working on? School starts back up on Wednesday. That's right, Amber. Yes, because have you had the summer off? Or have you been doing some daycare kind of work um, at the school? But yes, school for us, I'm not sure. Everybody, I think every area kind of has different back to school. I think some places in the States, they went back probably a couple of weeks ago. School for us starts on Wednesday. Tomorrow is still a holiday here for school. Um, for teachers and kids have tomorrow off, and then Wednesday is the start, which is super, kind of fun, right? Kids are ready to go back, see their friends, get back into routine. Parents are also ready to get back into a routine at this point. Yes, Nancy, she is. Thank you for asking. Yes, I know. Was that last week? I know. Had a little bit of a scare, and she had to make a trip to the hospital in the middle of the night. But I saw her today for a couple of minutes. I just popped in quick, and yeah, she's doing great. Recovered very quickly, which was wonderful. Oh, cat dad hat, prism socks, and I worked. Oh, you worked most of the summer, just kids and a few other stuff. Others have it off. Okay, well that's good. So you were busy all summer. Oh, what is it? Amber says on Pluto TV they have a whole channel dedicated to Christmas movies. A whole channel, like all year long. Oh my gosh. That sounds good, but no. You guys know, like I am up there in like the top Christmas fans, but I don't want to do it all year long because then it loses its specialness, right? I look forward to November and December. So, yeah. Oh, Nancy, you got socks and now an Afghan. Oh my God, that's gonna be a big project. 365 Christmas. Yeah, as exciting as that sounds, like, I'm not even a real big Christmas in July. I think this year I watched like one, maybe two movies in July. But yeah, that's not even something that I really want to do either. Oh, Susanna, you are still here. I gave the poncho unit to my friend's mother for her birthday. She was impressed, and I told her a friend of mine had made it. Oh, isn't that nice? Kim, it's chilly tonight, 6 degrees. It's cool here too. I've got the windows open and there's like a really cool breeze coming in, which does feel nice. but 6. Yikesies. That's getting a little chilly, isn't it? Okay, Sally, you're working on your striped Christmas socks. That's right. So that's a Fiber Friends project. Fantastic. Good, good, good. Oh, Nancy might start another triangle shell though. Okay, so Nancy, quick before we wrap up here, how are you doing your triangle shell? Are you doing it um, top down, top down, or bottom up? Are you doing top down increasing or top down decreasing? So many ways that you can do um, triangle shells, or you can do it side to side, and you can do point and knit out wide and then decrease down to a point. Can do like an asymmetrical, well, so I suppose asymmetrical boomerang is a little bit different shape than just a sideways triangle. Yeah, there's so many ways. Again, right? It's why we can just keep knitting and knitting and knitting and try all the different ways. And it just takes so, like, we could just knit forever and ever and ever and never knit the same thing twice, pretty much, right? Top down to the point. So you're increasing out then, or to the point. So top down. So did you cast on like 300 stitches and you're decreasing? Anyways, so fun. Oh, Amber, this isn't that nice? I'm happy that you gave it to a special person. Isn't that like that is exactly why we knit and we want to give it to somebody who is just going to love what we make, right? Okay, so knit 2 stitches, yarn over. Okay. Excellent. Okay, well, I can't wait. You're gonna have to fill us in again. Now, Jocelyn and I would normally be chatting this coming Friday night, but she is off to the Manitoba Fiber Festival this coming weekend. So Jocelyn and I are going to be chatting here on Sunday night. So that will give us both a couple more days to work on our projects. And then we'll be able to catch up with Jocelyn. She'll be able to fill us all in about how the show was over the weekend and see. I mean, I'm sure she's going to have such an amazing time with Erin. And I mean, it's exciting. Fall. We've got 2 shows coming up here. Our Kitchener Knitters Fair is in 2 weeks, and then Woolstock is middle of October. So we've got those 2 big shows. Those are big shows for us and local around here. So those are always fun that we all like to look forward to and go because there's always fun yarns. It's fun to see some of your favorite dyers, see their yarn in person. You don't have to order it online. And then, of course, as you're wandering around and shopping, you typically see other knitters that you see podcasters, you see friends in person when you go to knit nights, and then you just get that whole social aspect and get to chat to everybody, which is a whole lot of fun. Oh, Nikki Marvel asked if this is her new sweater. It is. She's already in love with her yellow sweater. That is fantastic. Yellow. That is like perfect. Such a happy color. Knit 2 yarn over in the sides, one about 4. Oh, so it goes to 400. So there's no increasing down the center. It's just increasing on the sides. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Oh, hey, Nikki. It's always a pleasure to see Marvel. She's doing amazing. I guess. Good, good, good. All right, you guys. Well, I think we will wrap up for tonight. I am going to go wind this. Can't wait. And I don't even have to do. Oh, nope, it does have a yarn over knit, 1 yarn over in the center. Okay. All right. Good, good. Okay, so what yarn are you knitting it in? How many skeins of yarn is it, Nancy, for starters? Is it like a 2 or 3 skein, or is it just a single? Oh, the Fiber Fest is only 2 days, and I work both of them. They're not carrying it to Sunday. Okay. Is that the so is that so who's Sapphire? So is that the Manitoba show that you're talking about, or is that a different one? So is it Friday and Saturday? Okay, see, and our shows here are just one days. They're just Saturdays, not a 2-day show. Okay, Manitoba. Okay, cool. Well, have fun and buy some really pretty yarn. Okay, I need to go bind this, you guys. Nancy, it was oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right, right. Right. You just told me that. Yes, the 200 grams, and you're using a 4 millimeter needle with it. Right. So 200 grams. So that's going to give you a really nice big shawl. Okay. Fantastic. I can't wait to see some pictures of it, Nancy. It's going to look gorgeous. Okay, everybody. Thanks for voting for the DK yarn because it's going to knit quick. I'm going to try Jen's um, channel, her knitting speed, and see. I should try and see how many hours it takes me to do a DK sock. And I know it shouldn't take long because the one that I have part done, I did most of that in 1 day. So I could be a 2-day sock for me. We'll see. Okay, everybody. Amber, it was so nice of you to pop in. It's lovely chatting with you, and same with everybody else. So have a great weekend, everybody. And if you're going to the Manitoba Fiber Festival, have fun and post some pictures of the yarn in the Fiber Friends groups so everybody can see all the wonderful yarn stash that you've got. Everybody have a great week of knitting. And Jocelyn and I will see you Sunday night. Cheryl and I will see you Saturday night on the Fiber Friends podcast. And then we'll be back here Monday. And I will have some updates. And I have something that may be finished next Monday. So there's my little cliffhanger. Come back next week and we'll see if I have a finish. Okay, everybody, have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining and thanks for voting. And we'll see you all next Monday. Good night, everybody.